Hello and welcome to Panther Financial Services. This is Pranav Patil. Today we will discuss, is this the right time to buy a property or not? We will try to understand 4 points. On that basis, you will have an idea you should invest into properties or not right now. The first point I would like to discuss is the interest rate. If you look at in 2022, interest rate has gone up drastically because the Fed has increased the rates very fastly. Because of that, what happened across entire world, all the central banks have increased the interest rate. They don't have any chance, to keep it as it is or to keep lower down the interest rate. They don't have any kind of that kind of chance. UK government tried, by reducing the taxation as well, but they got a backfired. And we all know what is the cure, how the chaos happened in the UK government. Now, the answer to this question, should you should buy a properties or not, right? In today's situation, the answer is yes. The reason, because with the terms and condition I'm talking about, if you are buying a property for your own purpose, for your own use perspective, for example, if you are buying a flat or if you are buying a home, and that will be used by you yourself, not from a rent perspective, or if you are buying a shop, or you are buying a office and it is used by you only, you are not looking for an income perspective from that property. Yes, this is the right time to invest into the property sector. The reason, because I'm saying, what happens when the interest rate goes up, the demand goes down, the bank won't have a much client. Even the big clients, big companies also, keep capex on the hold perspective. So there is a very less demand happens for a mortgage perspective or a loan perspective. Indirectly, that impacts on the price of the homes or the price of the property sector. You will find in the coming time, say 2 or 3 months, you will find the huge hammer on the property prices in the Indian markets or across global markets, because the demand has gone down, because interest rate has gone. Due to that, the demand will go down, and which will again hammer on the price of the property. Indirectly, that will come down. Now, in this time, what happens, if you if you buy the property, you will get the property at the cheaper rate compared to the normal rate. Point number 1. Point number 2, you will have the higher borrowing cost, because you are not going to pay the 100% in the cash. You need to remember, if you are buying a property or anything, you should have at least minimum 20% cash. The reason I'm saying, generally what happens, there are people who take a 90%, 95% loan on the property. The cost of borrowing is the higher. That's the reason I'm saying minimum you should have a 20% cash in the hand to buy that property. 80 max 80% you can make a loan. That loan, the borrowing cost today is higher. That borrowing cost will be higher for a maximum 2 quarters or 3 quarters perspective, I'm saying. In 2022, the interest rate has gone up drastically. What I feel, the way US government CEOs or US company CEOs, or the entire private sector lobby is trying to pressure the government and the Fed as well, by saying, recession is heading in a 1 or 2 quarters max. They are creating such a high pressure that by default in 2023, Fed will have no chance other than reducing the interest rates. If that happens, entire global, all the central banks will have an option to reduce the interest rate. So currently interest rates are going up. Indirectly, that will pressure will be on the pricing sector. The price of the properties will go down. In the next year, the interest rate will go down and the property prices may go up slightly. So if you invest now, you will have the less, you'll have to pay a less price for a particular flat or particular property compared to next year, because the interest rate are going up. cost of borrowing is going up, and that's the reason very less people dare to invest into property sector. But if you are using that property, if you are for your own perspective, see what happens in India, we don't have that culture to stay entire life on a rent. Very less culture. The reason I'm saying, if you look at, let's take this example. In Hirandani, 1 BHK costs somewhere around 1.6 cr. If you calculate the interest, yearly interest will be pay. If I buy a flat, the interest I'll have to shed somewhere around 16 lakh rupees a year, which comes around 1.25 lakh per month. If I get the same property, say 25 or 30,000 rupees on a per month rent, or 35,000 on the rent, I'll prefer to stay on a rent perspective. But what happens, there is an emotional bondage happen in India. People or spouses or parents, they ask to have their own home. So, and which is a decent, I'm not saying it is wrong, but it's a decent what they expect. So if you are into that kind of things, then you should invest it. But if you're looking for a rent perspective, okay, I'll buy the property, I'll keep on the rent, and I'll earn from that. You will get the better option for an investment perspective. But your own perspective, if you're looking property, then you should try your hands in the property right now. Now, the another factor of looking, you need to have a patience, because current immediately interest rate will not come down. It may take 2023 to come down. The way the lobby is happening on the government and the Fed by the US companies, it is very very higher level. And by, I personally feel that the Fed will take down the interest rate in 2023. If that happens, the property prices may slightly shoot up in the next year. If that happens slightly, so you will get this benefit. And for 1 year, if you pay a higher borrowing cost, that's perfectly fine, because you are going to get the 20-25% property at the cheaper rate. That's one of the reason, if you are thinking to invest into property, you should blindly go ahead. If you have any doubt on this, do mention in the comment box, or you can WhatsApp me anytime. I'll be glad to answer those. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.